Yeah, so today we'll discuss about ACLs. Write it down. ACLs. Access control list. ACL is nothing but access control list. Note it down. ACLs are used to control what data users can access and how they can be access it. How they can be access it. What data users can access and how they can access it. Continue in the same line. How they can access it, full stop. ACL rules requires users to pass a set of requirements. Users to pass a set of requirements in order to gain access to particular data. Access to particular data. Full stop. I'll repeat the sentence again. ACL rules require users to pass a set of requirements in order to gain access to particular data. Full stop. Next, it is used for security purpose. It is used for security purpose. Continue in the same line. We need security underscore admin role to edit or else to work with ACLs. To work with ACLs. We need security underscore admin role to work with ACLs. Okay. Next, write it down. Types of ACLs. Types. We have table level ACL, field level ACL, table level ACL, field level ACL, and star ACL and none. Star ACL and none. Okay. And write it down. ACLs can be defined by next line, or else you can keep it as a note as well. Yeah, wish. ACLs can be defined by three ways: roles, conditions, and script. Role, condition, and script. Okay, so let us discuss about this now. Okay, so yeah, so let us discuss about this ACL. So ACL is nothing but we in the name itself we have, right, access control list. So something which we are controlling the access, or else something which we are going to give an access, who can access that specific data, or else who can utilize that one. Okay, which we can restrict the permissions, or else which we can provide the access for specific thing. Right. So in tables creation, you see like there is like in one role based, right? So if the role is there, then the table will be access to that specific person, or else it will not. In the same way, here we have a access control list, access list, which we can say. So here we are going to control what kind of users can access the data. It's just like in one line which you can define ACL. We are going to control what data users can access and how they can access it. So we do have like in different users in our service now platform. So we do have like an admin users, ITL users, end users, and then depending on like in their roles, which we define them. So depending on like in roles, we are going to set up like in restrictions, or else whatever data which they just need to display, they just need to get an access. Okay, so those data will be available for them, and rest of the data will not be available, so which they can access only a particular data, not everything which is there in instance. Okay, so for this one, for we are going to go ahead with like an ACL to provide a security only. Let me give like in one example here. So let's say I do have like in one store or factory, or in maybe like in any of a something which is very valuable. Okay, so the keys of that store, or else the keys of that factory will be there only with the owner, right? Not with a manager or maybe like a secretary, or else nothing else. They will not give full access to the everyone which is who are working in the factory, let's say example. Because that is that is the thing which we just need to be aware of, like, and we are going to provide an access for the ServiceNow information as well. So the data which is available in ServiceNow instance also, which we are going to provide specific access, or else which we can say specifically the specific particular data should be available for only for these users, only for these one. So rest of the users which you are not going to provide an access even to check it as well. Okay, so that's how the keys will be there with like only the owner. In the same way, everything whatever the availability over here in a service now, there will be like an admin users, they will have like an whole access. Even though if it is like an ACL restricted, that will not be available if it is not admin override. Okay, I'll show you that as well how we are going to do it. Okay, so ACL is something which we are going to provide a security to our ServiceNow instance data, simply which we can define it. Okay, so see here, just need this role to work with ACL, security underscore admin. So if you don't have this role, you cannot edit or you cannot create ACL, even you cannot, you know, change a single thing as well in ACL. Just you can view it, you can see it. That's it. So security underscore admin is really important to go ahead. Okay, so I'll show you how to go with that as well. And we do have like in types of ACLs as well. So table level ACL, so which is nothing but specifically specific table. So which we are giving an access for only for a specific table. Okay, and field level ACL, just like a table level, here we'll go ahead with like an specific field. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like in all the things as well practically too. Okay, so star is nothing but for all fields. We are going to give permissions or restricting all the things for all the fields. For none is nothing but record level. So it's like in record level actually. So if you want to give a data, give accessing the data to like in a record level, then you will go with like a non-ACL. Okay, so whatever the things which is available over here in ACL, so that should be based on like in role based or condition based or script based. You can go with like an individually one each and everything, or else combinedly you can add the all these three as well. Okay, so let me show you. You everyone know about like in docs.servicenow.com, right? As I told you, yes, yeah, good. So let me go with like in docs.servicenow.com only. So do to go with that. So just give like an concept name and in service now. So not only this, let me tell you one thing over here. Let me open this docs.csc docs.servicenow.com ACL list rules. I just need to show you like in one flow chart over there. That's what I was opening this one. Okay, so now see, let's say example, if you got any task or something, in not only in ACL, it might be like in anything. Let's say example, auto populate field fields in a table. Let's say this is my task. Okay, see auto populate a field in a form from another table. So let's say this is my task. So just give your task over here and give in service now, and you will get documents and community stuff and whatever it might be. So it depends on depending on like an hour question. So here see that is like in servicenow.com how to populate fields on the table from one field to other field. Let's say this is a task. Okay, so now I'm navigating to like in community. So community is one of us ServiceNow community. So this is one of a best platform which I like a lot, because whatever the issues or whatever the concerns which I have to implement my work or is based on like a requirement, I'm not sure about how to do it. Okay, so then I'll give my task with like an in a sentence, and I will add it now in ServiceNow. Then I'll get all kind of related search will be come up, and from there I'll go ahead with like in the community and see this is the question of my related task, and then I'll get and replies as well. So this community is nothing but we are going to post our questions. Okay, so the experts in service now, whoever is available. Okay, so they are going to reply for your questions. So they will give very clear explanation as well as sometimes even the scripts also will be available here. So if we have a Stack Overflow and GitHub Drive for the other languages. So here we do have a ServiceNow community. So make sure you are going to utilize this. You are going to use this ServiceNow community while you're working in projects. Okay, so just keep this aside. Just you letting you know that this is a one of a good one which we have. Okay, so this is docs.servicenow.com. I have gone through ACL. So directly ACL concept was came up because ACL in ServiceNow, that's how I searched it. Okay, so if you want full details regarding not only this concept, I told you already, but anyhow, I'm repeating it again. So if I want any data regarding ServiceNow with all the modules, not only ITSM, so you can go with like in any module. So just search with like in the concept and in ServiceNow, you will get docs.servicenow.com links over there, and you can try with like in different things, and you can explore a lot. Okay, and the documentation format. So this will be in a text format only. You can read and you can learn a lot. Okay, so let me, yeah, this is what I was waiting for. So ACL is something. Let's say we were discussing about like an if I request something as a end user, if I request something. Okay, so here I just need to go ahead with like in the ACL check actually. So whether do I have access for that specific table or that specific request or something. If it is there, it will go ahead. If not, it will come out. So in that way, so see here there is a start. So starting action is like a user request access to an object. Let's say I'm accessing any field or something else in, or else any table, let's say example for better understanding. Okay, so whenever I'm requesting access to an object, so it will find ACL rules matching object. So is there any specific ACLs written on that specific table which I'm accessing, which I'm requesting? Okay, so if it is there, it will check it. So if there is no matches, it will just check it out the flow over here, the transaction. So it will grant user access to the object. So without, if there is no ACLs, it will provide the access. If not, if there is any matches found for the ACL, okay, so it will evaluate the permissions of matching all the ACLs. Also, as I told you, that is like in three things: role based ACL. It's like, and it will check it out whether the role mentioned in that specific ACL, whether that's there for you or not, and it will check the conditions as well. Then it will go ahead with like in script as well. So if these three is like in gonna satisfy, then they are going to provide the access, or else it will not, it will deny the request. So see, if the ACLs is there, then the next flow is like in, does the user have one of the required role? So if the role is there, then it will check the condition. If not, it will deny the request. Then it will check for the condition. The condition, whatever which is mentioned over there, is the true or not. If it is like in condition also satisfied, then the it will go with like in the next step, or else it will go ahead with like in denying the request. Okay, if the condition also satisfied, then we'll go with the script. So if the script is there, let's say, so script also there with like in depending on like in the conditions, so just this also will check. If that is going to satisfy, then it will grant the permissions, or else it will deny the request. So this much of filters will be there to access specific data in ServiceNow. As an admin user, if it is like in that specific admin user is like an overriding with the ACLs, okay, so then they will get like in full access, or else they just need to go with like in this level of filtration as well. Okay, so you got my point, right? So whenever I request something, it will check for the ACLs. If it is not there, no ACLs were written on that specific request which I was requesting, and then it will grant the permissions. If not, it will check each and everything, role, condition, and script. If it is there, then it will go ahead, or else it will not. Okay, so we do have like in different types as well, right? So just for better understanding, so whenever you are practicing, just check it out this document as well. Okay, so let me go back to like an R tool. So you got it right, how the ACL will work. This is the flow which it's gonna work actually. So here see there is like a role based, condition based and everything. Okay, so just check it out this one, you will get more idea. Not only for ACLs, whatever the concept might be, if you want to learn more, if you wanna explore a lot regarding like and all the concepts. Okay, so you can check docs.servicenow.com, you will get more details. Not only, let's say in 1 hour I can give only max to max, I'll try to give like a more information. If you want to go ahead with like a more than that for each and every concept, just try it out this docs.servicenow.com. Okay, so just don't forget to select like a latest version, or else whatever the version which your instance having, so then you will get like an appropriate updates over that. Okay, so now let us start with like in creating an ACL. Okay, and I'll show you how we are going to perform this one. Okay, so to navigate to like an ACL, just click on left navigation menu or filter navigator. So here just type ACL. Okay, so scroll down under system security, we have access control. Open this. So now just focus on one thing. Here I don't have new button. Everywhere whenever I open a table, maybe like in whatever the concept might be, I'll get a new button. Right. So let's say randomly if I open something, any of an ACL, existing ACL, which is there in out of the box. See, everything is like an read only. I cannot edit anything. I cannot change even a single thing as well. Even here as well, I cannot remove it or else I cannot add it. So this is what something we are not having the security underscore admin role is not enabled. Okay, so to do that, so what we'll do, just go to the home page of ServiceNow and click on your profile, user profile, and here see there is a elevate role. Okay, click on this and enable your security underscore admin. So here see grant modification access to high security settings, allow users to modify access control list. Okay, just click on update. So we are going to modify these ACLs only by checking on security underscore admin role. Okay, so if I refresh it, I'll get new button. See, I got this. And if I refresh this as well, and this is in a specific application over here. See, I can add and I can add like an, remove and I can add the roles as well. So let me go with like an, some other thing which is with like a global application. So it is like a global application which is editable. So see, now I can remove this roles and I can add the conditions and everything. Okay, so even this also will be there. Okay, so as of now, let me click on new button to create a new ACL. So what I'll do, I'll go to incident records. Let me take it as like in one use case. This is close record. Yeah, this is open record. Yeah. So see here, guys. So we do have like in different fields. So here my task is like in I just want to hide few fields or is only one field. Let's say example description. I want to hide this description field who doesn't have a specific role. Let's say example, we created one custom role, right? Maybe like in any role. So let's say ABC role. So if that ABC role having that specific user, then he can access this description. He can see this description, or else the description field will be not available for him. So let's do this one. So the use cases, let me put it over here for better understanding. So here I'm using with like in read ACL, which has like in description field. If I have that specific ABC role, let's say example, ABC role. Okay, so those who having ABC role only can access description role. Can access description field, sorry, not role. Can access description field who's having only this specific role. So who doesn't have this cannot see the description role even. Okay, so that's how which we can go ahead. So let's get into the configuration of this. Okay, so upon clicking on like in new, so this is the new record of ACL. So the backend value of this table is sys underscore security underscore ACL. Okay, so now let's get into like an each and everything over here and we'll start working on this. Okay, so here see there is a type. So are we working on like in records, or if I click on here, so see I do have like a multiple options here. So client callable flow object and then client callable script include. So if I want to call with like in script includes or flow object, so I can select about this and query QL processor record, which we use, 99% we use this one, and then we'll go with like in REST endpoint. Okay, REST endpoint is something if this ACL should work for like an integrations, then I will create an ACL by using like a REST endpoint. Okay, UI page, if there is like an something which I just need to do with like an UIs. Okay, and then I'll go with like in UX data broker. So this I haven't used it. So if you want each and every option to be like in a detailed way, just use this one. See REST endpoint we have, and this is what these two only which we are gonna use very frequently. The rest of the things which you're not gonna use it. So even here also these two options only available. Type. Okay, so let me go with the this one. So now I'm going to work with like in records only, right? This incident is nothing but a record. So whenever we are working with like in the table records and all, so then we will select this one. Okay, so before we do have like in different options as well, report view, list edit, all this we have, but for the latest version, the remove those, I guess. Okay, and the operation. So this is what something the access which you are providing. Okay, so here see, yeah, so here we do have like a report view as I told you before. Okay, so here see we have a execution operation we can, create operation we can provide, read operation we can provide, write, delete. So these operations is nothing but we call it as the CRUD operations. C for CRUD is something like let me put it over here. CRUD is something. C for create, R for read, U for update, D for delete. So this is for something we call it as a CRUD operations, which we do very frequently in lot of tables in ServiceNow. Okay, so CRUD operations is something the technical word which we use very frequently even in while working too. Okay, the operations whatever which we do for specific table, we call it as a CRUD. Create, read, update, and delete. Okay, so now here the operations which we have, see these things we call it as a CRUD operations, and we have a edit task relations, edit CI relations. If I wanted to edit like in task, SC task relations and CI relations, and I'll use it. And if I want to use like in save a template, I can use it. So these three I haven't used it. Okay, and see add to list, list edit. So if I want to work with like a list, then I will go ahead. And report on and view is nothing but if even for reports also which we can provide a restrictions or else which we can give a security. Okay, and personalize the choice. We have a gear icon in a list view of every table, right? So if I want to change something over there and I can do that. So, but most probably we are going to use create, read, write, delete only mostly. Even whenever I click on like in for tables creation as well, so there is a control up what is it permissions which we give for like an application is can read, can write, can edit, can delete, right? In the same way we use this one over here. So for our scenario, so to display this description, so the reading ability or is the reading access for that specific role based thing is nothing but we'll go with the read access. Let's say if I want to make any field as like an read only. Okay, they should not access. They cannot write or they cannot edit the field. Then I can go ahead with like and write. If I did not want others to delete it, so this one should not be available. Then I can click on delete. If there is like in something else new, there is a new button, right? So if I want to remove this new button to specific users, depending on like a role base, then I can use create. Okay, so that's how which we can go as of now. This is a read. Okay, so now this is one point which we just need to focus on admin overrides. So admin override is nothing but let me give like in one example. Okay, so normally admins will have a full access of our instance as we discussed earlier, right? So now what we'll do if I check on this one, if I override this, if I check on this, whatever the ACL might be, whatever the restriction might be, okay, so it will not impact the admin. He will get like in all the permissions irrespective of this ACL. If I uncheck this, okay, even for admin also, if I request something, it will go ahead with like in this flow and it will check it if it is unchecked. So we are if I want to override this ACL, then I'll check on this. And if I don't want to do that, then if I uncheck this, even for the admin users as well, it will check this one. Okay, so this ACL will come up in the list whenever it is not override. Okay, so we will check on this. So don't get confused. I'll repeat again. Admin override is nothing but if I override this, whatever the ACL restrictions might be, that restrictions or access or whatever it might be will not be impact on the admin users. Okay, if I uncheck this, it's just like an for every user, including admin also need to get an access. That will impact, or else that will apply even for the admin users as well. Okay, so that's what about like an admin override. I'm gonna override this for now. Okay, so now application and active, we know about it. Okay, so there is like an advanced option as well. So let me scroll down here. See, there is a role and condition. So as I told you, that is like in three things. Role is one thing which we can go ahead, or as condition we can go ahead, and script we can go ahead. So this role is nothing but something. See here we have a role and condition. So the users who has one of this specific role, okay, so the load in the role list, or else list is empty or whatever it might be. So the person having a specific role only can access this ACL. The condition or the thing whatever which we are giving over there will be available. Whereas if I go with like in condition, it will evaluate whether the condition is satisfied or not, when the condition is met or not, whether it's a true or false. If it is done, then it will go to the script. Even the script also, it will evaluate everything, whatever which we mentioned over there. So if it is done, then we can go ahead with the next operation. The operation is something like whatever which we have provided over here, that will be available to that specific user. So if I check on this advanced and see, I got another script thing as well. So role, condition, and script. So if I configure these three, okay, it should satisfy all these three. If I configured only one, and for sure that should be satisfied. If it is like an only two, even that also should be satisfied. Let's say if there is like an role, condition, script, everything which I have given, and one thing is not gonna satisfy, then it will won't give grant the access. Okay, so the next thing which will go with like an very important one, name. Name and this one. So here, if it by default we do have like an star. So here table we have. So if it is like in star, so star is something which apply for like in all the tables. Whatever the tables which is available in service now, it will apply for all the tables in the list. Okay, so we can specifically write on specific table as well. Let's say we are going ahead with like an incident table. Okay, so type the incident name over there and then select the incident. You can go, if you add the star, then what will happen? It will apply for all the tables. Okay, so now see, whenever I selected like an incident table, so there is a 53 records which can satisfying our condition. Okay, so now the next thing is like in see, there is a one more thing, none, star, and with the fields as well. So let us discuss about like an none, star, and field, these three. So table level will be there in a table which we selected, which we can select specific table or all the tables by mentioning star. Okay, so these things, field level is nothing but if I mention any specific field over here, so all the incident fields will come up here. Okay, so any specific field if I want to mention, I can go ahead with that, or else I can apply this for like a star. So if I apply star, it will go with like an all the fields, not only one specific field, it will go with like an all the fields. And if I go with like a none, so none is nothing but it's a record level. So these records should not be displayed to them. Okay, so these kind of access, these kind of records only should be accessed to respective users based on roles. So in that way, which we can go ahead. So as of now, what we discuss, we'll go with the description. Okay, so what is the condition here? So the description field, the read operation which you're providing for only for specific users. Okay, so if I wanna add like in any conditions over here, active true, or else only for the specific caller related, or else category related, anything which you can mention. Okay, in description is nothing but here, just give like in what you are doing. Okay, so read access, which is description read access. Let me go with like in this access on role base. Okay, you can give like in a short way. Okay, so now scroll down. So let me save this one. There is still we just need to mention, or else which we just need to add the role as well. So now see, whenever I click on save, so there is a kind of like a confirmation alert box also available. Okay, so we are just adding one more thing, and before it was like an incident with star. Okay, so now see here, there is a allow read for all fields in incident always. So here we are just going ahead with like an description. Okay, just click on continue. Now this record will be saved. Now we will add role here. So before also we can add role, that's not an issue. So insert a new row we have, right? So just click on this. So it's loading. Okay, so just select any of a role. So let's say, let me take like in my custom role, I think demo role, I guess. Yeah, so demo test role I have. So I'm just giving this demo test role. So now whoever having this demo test role will able to see the description failed in incident. Okay. And who doesn't have this role cannot see this description failed in incident form. Okay. So let's have a look on this as well. Let me save it. If you want, if you, there is like any requirement regarding conditions and script as well, you can add a conditions and scripts too. So condition is something we can add a filter, and we can go ahead with this. Here, see, here we have a condition. Okay, so now I have saved this one. So now we just want to verify that who having this role and who doesn't having this role. So let me go to users, open this, and there is one custom role, I guess, right? Yeah, here you go. Custom role, custom user. So this person having this demo. Yeah, see here, demo test role is available for this person. Demo user having this role. Okay, and one more user who doesn't having it, we will check it. Let's go with like an Abel tutor, as he's one first person in the list. Okay, if I scroll down and click on edit button to verify exactly, he doesn't have the demo test role. And before that, whenever you're testing with like an incident table, just make sure the person having ITL or ITL admin. If the person doesn't have it, and if you're having getting more time to check it up, just open a random user and you can add these two roles as well. No problem at all. Okay, or else you can go to roles table, and from there also you can pick any of a user. That also fine. So now just focus on like a demo user having this demo test role, and whereas able tutor having only ITL admin, not the demo test user. So now we will check it out. Now I'm going to use this impersonate user. So before I was telling, right, to check it or for testing purpose we use this impersonate user. Okay, so now let us impersonate to like a demo user role, and we'll check whether the description field is available or not. Okay, and then we will go with like an able tutor as well, and we'll check for both. Okay, now see, just type it out like in demo user, select the user. After selecting the user, click on impersonate user. Okay, so now we will be in a demo user profile, not in system administrator. See, we are in a demo user. Okay, so it is displaying like an impersonating user also. It's not you. You're just looking into like an another profile. Okay, so let's refresh this. Now I'm in a demo user. Now this description is available because this demo user having that specific role, whatever which is we mentioned. Okay, now we can end the impersonator or we can impersonate with another user as well. Just click on that and now check it out like an able tutor. So the first person is this one. He only impersonate user. Now it's loading actually. Let me navigate to, yeah. Now I'm in a able tutor and impersonating user only. Okay, so his dashboard is like this. His view is like this. Okay, depending on like and roles or anything, it will be there. That's fine. Now refresh this. So now see the description field is not available. That's because of our ACL. Our ACL is something which we have given a demo test role. So whoever having this demo test role only can access description field. Only can read this. Reading is nothing but looking into the field or seeing the field. Okay, so that's how which we will work with like in, see this is not available. The description field is not available for him. Let's say if I impersonate back to another user, this user, demo user, and we'll refresh the page. You can refresh the page or you can navigate from a left navigator and also can open. See now the description field is available. It's based on like in roles which we are providing to that specific user to access this field. Okay, so what kind of data he's accessing is nothing but the description he is accessing here. Okay, and I can check it out for myself as well. Is nothing but admin, right? I do have a admin role. Now refresh this and I have this description because I have clicked on admin override. Okay, so whenever you're impersonating back, you just need to cross verify whether it is checked or not. It will not be checked whenever we impersonate. So just update it as well if you have still need to work with like in this thing. Okay, so that's how I got like in ACL. ACL is something, let me recall it again. ACL is something which you are giving an access or else which you are giving a control what kind of data users can access and how they can access it. So it's nothing but something particular data which they can access. Not only it's like an accessing the data, so which is giving a permissions which should be displayed to the person. So it's just for like a security purpose only we are using it because each and every records or tables or fields or everything which is available in our service now should not be exposed to each and every user in service now because that's not a good practice or it's not fair at all, right? So if we are accessing which if we are giving like in all the permissions to each and every user, okay, so they might be like in misuse our data sometimes or else it will be like in something clumsy or not comfortable for them as well while working. Okay, so what we'll do, we are going to provide a security by using security underscore admin role and we will create an ACL. Okay, we have a table level, field level, star and none. Table level is something which we work with like an only specific table. If it is like in field level, it will go with like an only specific field. If it is star, will apply for all the fields. If it is there in a star, is there in a table level, then it will go with like an all the tables as well. None is nothing but it's a record level. So here we have a role based and conditions and script too. If everything is like and gonna satisfy, then the whatever the request which we trying to access that will be available. Well, or else if any of a thing is like a not gonna satisfy, then the access will be denied. Okay, so most probably which you are going ahead with like in thread operations only. Okay, so we can access the data by using this one. Okay, so while impersonating, so just focus on like in whether it is checked or not when you are going to work with like an ACL. So whenever this is checked, then only you can edit the ACLs or else you cannot. Okay, and make sure while testing you have a proper role to that specific person or not, and then check it out whether not only here actually. So just let's say example, if I go back with the demo user too. There is a child roles as well. Okay, so just cross verify whether that specific role directly or indirectly, maybe from group or roles or else child roles or somewhere else it is added or not. Okay, so that will help a lot. That will make sure that you are, same line. Okay, so now I'll go with your questions.
Priyanka,
Mm,
so in live projects, right,
mm,
real
mm,
time,
mm,
so
mm.
can we go ahead and elevate that role ourselves, or
Adding a role to the person.
no, no, no. In the right top corner, we have that elevate option, right?
Yeah. So this
So to the
actually
security
got
admin,
you.
can we
Security
do it
underscore.
ourselves in the real time?
A real time we have to do it, but this will get whenever you are a admin, and if even though you're an admin, security underscore admin role should be there for you in real time
Okay.
projects.
By
If
default, they'll give.
by default it should be there. If that is not there, if they are not going to give it while creating a user for you, while giving an access for the instance, you can
Oh,
check with any of your team members or whoever having the user, and you can ask them to create it, or else you can take the screen available, or else you can ask them to create add the role to your profile too. So most
oh,
probably the security underscore admin will not be available for each and everyone. Even for developers also, they will give only for like a few users only, not for everyone. So if that's
okay,
there, that's fine. If not, you can request, or else you can ask someone else to help.
okay,
Yeah. But you just need to make sure whether you have that or not before asking.
okay.
Yeah. Good. Just give me a minute. Let me plug into the chats. Yeah, you can ask the question meanwhile. Any of you have any queries, you can.
Priyanka, at one time we
Yes.
can only perform one operation, Priyanka. Like
Yes.
only read.
Yes, only one operation which can perform. If you want more, then we need to create one more ACL. One
Okay.
or two, yeah, it depends. Good. Any further questions? All good. And we will not be having class tomorrow. Okay, so the next class will be on 29th. So make sure this as well. If someone is like in your friends or anyone is like not gonna join today, so just let them know. Even I'm gonna inform in the group as well. Yeah. So if there is like any questions, you can reach out to me, no problem. Even if I'm not available, let's say 2 to 3 hours, I might not be available later whenever I get free time. So I'm into the phone and I will check it out and I'll reply. Okay, all good, guys. Shall we wrap up then?
Yes, Priyanka.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Yeah, bye bye.